Welcome along to A View from Section C for episode 10, and as you can see by the Christmas jumpers, it's our Christmas edition of the episode. It's not going to be that much different, to be fair, but Christmas jumpers, some Christmas drinks.
Cheers, everyone. Merry Christmas.
We're good to go.
This could end in disaster, because it's only 10 minutes to 2 in the afternoon and I'm on Copperberg. This could be me. I could be in my bed for 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock on Christmas Eve. There's a new record for you.
If it's anything like what happened in Wales on my birthday, could be a disaster.
Will I go message Nurse Vicky just in case?
Maybe, Vicky Fairhurst, she might be listening to this, so yeah.
So there's only one way that we could kind of start off the podcast just now, and that's with a discussion around the cancelled games and COVID. So we sat here last week in the hope that we were going to get something. It turned out that obviously results had come back from the team, and we were still in COVID protocols and weren't allowed to play the next 3 games. So we're now on Christmas Eve. The news came out yesterday that Fife are now in COVID protocols, and Boxing Day and whatever day it is we're next due to play them away from home has also been cancelled as well. So from a purely selfish point of view, I'm glad that the game has been cancelled on Boxing Day due to the announcement from the government, but it's another delayed game for the league, another team in protocols. What you thinking?
Yeah. I think for your fans' perspective, it's shit. Let's be honest, right? Everybody wants to go to hockey. Everybody wants to see the Boxing Day game against Fife.
Yep.
The government have put out guidelines. I think the club have came out and done the right thing. They could have got 200 people in.
Mm-hmm.
It's, to me, cancel the league just now. Yeah, shut down the league. Like what the SPFL have done. They brought their winter break forward. Let's go and shut it down for 3 weeks. So the 3 weeks that you can only get 200 people in, let's go and shut down for 3 weeks. The league, that is. Not just the Scottish teams. But, devastated.
Yeah. So, limited fans and restrictions, obviously, we're discussing that as well, and kind of bringing this into one kind of big thing with COVID and the cancelled games. And I can understand from the club's point of view of we're trying to keep it going as much as possible throughout, the restriction stuff. They're still allowed to play games because they're professional sports teams. But my thoughts behind it was, right, and this obviously isn't kind of, the club have to make this decision to play the games to try and get money somehow, and it's playing via webcast, doing their online raffles and doing their 50-50 tickets online. That's fine. But at the same time, if those 200 fans that are going to come in, right, it's a guarantee that out the 200 fans that are allowed in, it's going to be sponsors and season ticket holders.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll be the choice in the ballot. So there's going to be no paying fans coming into that.
Correct.
At all. The only way they'll get it is through the webcast. The Stars obviously lose out a few quid between a webcast and a ticket sale.
Because speaking about the webcast, so right. So say
I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, the 200 people get in.
Yeah.
Say they've got another 700 season ticket holders that can't get in.
Mm-hmm.
Do they get the webcast for free because they've already paid for the game?
Well,
so
that's not what I thought you were going to say.
Right. So, but if you think about it like that, right? There's only 200 people getting in. Just say we're season ticket holders, right? We don't come out the ballot, but they're going to show a webcast. So should we have to pay for the webcast? If you think about, we've already paid for that game.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's a difficult situation for the club.
Very difficult for the club. And I think to be honest, between, my personal thoughts on it are, you would like what United's done in Dundee and all the SPFL clubs. Your season ticket holders got the stream. but they've got an income coming in from bigger sponsors, more fans that were allowed in at the time, and bankrolled by potentially millionaires.
Yes.
Very small club, the Stars, Fife, even Clan. Okay, Clan could probably get a wee bit extra money from their owner, Nottingham, but they're classified in this. Manchester, they're not this richest of clubs either, but I would be expecting the clubs to come out and say,
but does it affect the English? It's no affecting them, though, is it?
No, it's not affecting them, no.
But
I think that might change, though. I think that might change on Boxing Day.
So the only thing is, right, at the moment, we've had a player in isolation. Fife have obviously now got a player or players in isolation.
Yeah.
It's just going to keep going.
Manchester's, that was the best one, where they just precautionary didn't travel.
Yeah. So to me, they're waiting on results.
Yeah, but they've not been placed in protocols.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing about it was, right, again, so these 200 fans that get in, they're not going to get money from. Only way they get money is through 50-50 sales and shut off the back sales in the rink from the 200 fans. All the money for food and that at the cafe and that goes to the rink. Same with the bar, goes to the rink.
But the bar, they would be shut, would they not?
No, bars can stay open until a certain time.
But I don't know if they would open the bar.
Yeah, possibly not. But yeah, they wouldn't make money from or that much money. And the other thing as well is with the webcast is, so say the likes of even just me and Shannon, if we don't go to the game, we're only buying one webcast.
Yeah.
If there's a family of 6 or 7
there's nothing
to buy tickets on the game day, they're losing out on 6 or 7 people because they'll buy one webcast.
That's right. So you're speaking about you and Shannon, right? It's Boxing Day. That might include me. So there's 3 with just buying the one webcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
but,
it could be devastating for the club.
Keep it going.
Could be devastating for the club.
Yeah,
absolutely devastating. Us and Fife.
Yeah, it's and like you say, it's not the Stars' decision. For shutting down the league for 3 weeks. It would be the league's decision. I think the right thing to do it again. But saying that they wouldn't really make any money from having the games played behind closed doors, the league should close it down for those 3 weeks.
So,
as long as you can get money.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Have the club cancelled the Fife game on Boxing Day then?
Flyers have cancelled the game.
Flyers have cancelled because they're in
protocols.
Yes. Right, got it. Right, okay.
Yeah, so their next 3 games are cancelled.
They're cancelled, right? All right. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to know if Fife were not in protocol, if the game really went ahead. Both games would have.
Yeah.
I think the clubs would have cancelled it. I really do. I think the clubs would have postponed the games.
The one thing I've heard today is that the Scottish Government could potentially go back on this 3 weeks with all the data and the research and that's coming out. So it could end after a week. If it doesn't, okay, and I was looking at the fixtures last night, if it doesn't change and it's still the 3 weeks until the 17th of January, we miss 5 home games.
Yeah.
And 1 away game.
Yeah.
And again, it's not the club's fault, but
no.
How is that fair? How is that fair to the fans? We're losing that much. Okay, it's the first time that we've had such a run of home games in God knows how many years in the league.
Yeah.
A couple of doubleheader at home for it, and again, the time of year when people are off work. Some people maybe go back maybe the 3rd, but they're still. I'm off to the 5th. I know there's people that are off to the 10th. They're off right the way through, so they still got all those games when they're off.
I'm back on the 3rd.
Yeah,
and we're supposed to have a game on the 3rd. We're supposed to have a game on the 3rd. I think we're supposed to have a game on the 5th.
Yep, and then I think it's a double header that weekend.
Yeah.
Or the weekend.
Weekend's fine. Yeah, and get what? The club are in such a difficult position because you'll not be able to keep everybody happy, right?
Yeah.
They'll know. Even if they went to a ballot with 200 people, all the season ticket holders that didn't get are going to be devastated.
Mm-hmm.
You may be wanting the 5 game, but you've ended up let's say a Manchester game.
Yeah.
But you really want the 5 game. You know what I mean?
I know.
It's a luck of the draw, eh? It's
Yeah.
like, if you think about United at the moment, so they've done a ballot for the Hibs game on Boxing Day.
Yep.
So this is not the first time they've done a ballot for their season ticket holders. But seemingly this is a new ballot.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody was getting in anyway. So they've started again. So there was people who didn't get in the first time are not getting in and at this point again.
Getting in, yeah.
And there's people who've been are now getting back again. And it's really difficult. And again, what the club are going to do, I really don't. I feel really, really sorry for what the owners have got to go through this now. I really do.
Yeah. And one thing, just for saying that, I feel for the owners, you know. Listen, there's things have happened in years gone by that you've maybe never agreed with what the club have done or spending and like for players and stuff like that, and players have brought in the caliber and stuff. But the amount of shit that the club has taken over social media over the last week or so about their lack of communication. Why is this club announcing it first? Why is the league announcing it before us? Because as a professional team, the league should be announcing these things first.
Yep.
It's the same in the Premier League, right? The FA come out and say, we're speaking to clubs, we'll take a vote, blah, blah, blah. Oh, games are cancelled. Liverpool's cancelled against Crystal Palace or Leeds and Crystal Palace game in Watford and stuff like that, right? Yep. The league come out and announce it first, and then the clubs...
And then the club come out with a statement behind it, yes.
And the amount of times that they've come out with, oh, why are we not announcing that? Why have Fife announced it? Fife obviously jumped the gun on that one, and I think everyone knows that Fife jumped the gun on that one to say the game is cancelled on the last Saturday.
Yeah.
And the league then came out maybe half an hour later and announced it, and then the Stars and Fife obviously came out saying that the game was cancelled and postponed. So, yeah, listen, give the club a fucking break, man. Like,
again, listen, we
spoke
about it. Yeah, that's it. Get what you took the words out of my mouth, right? We spoke about it. We've spoke to people about it, right? See for the club, it's their business.
Yeah.
Right. See for me and you, it's a game of ice hockey.
Yep, exactly.
That's it. These guys, the wards and everybody else that run this club have got a lot more to worry about than just the game's off.
They've got to think about their own bloody health.
Well, exactly. Me and you're just like, oh well, Boxing Day, you're coming out to me. We didn't need to get ready early to go to the game now.
No, I know.
It's not. It's absolutely not. And I know we're going to miss it. I know we'll miss it, and everybody else will miss it. But it's somebody's business we're speaking about here. Eh? They've got bigger things to worry about than me and you.
Yeah, and like I say, you know, we're annoyed. Everyone's annoyed that we can't get to the games, but we're all in the same boat. It's hopefully changes, and it's just a week. But yeah,
I think the frustrating thing for people, I'm not going to get into this because I've got my own opinion, and I think I put my opinion on Facebook probably for the first time since this pandemic started. Because I got a wee bit frustrated about it. I'm double vaxxed and I've also got a booster. Yet I still can't get to my ice hockey now. And I'm thinking, what is the point? Right? But that's the rules that have been put in place. They'll maybe lax. They might change them after a week. They might change them after 2 weeks. But yeah, if you think about it, it's getting better. Let's put it this way, right? It's getting better. That's a good thing about it. The NHS was inundated. They're now saying that really a lot of cases maybe shouldn't go to the hospital now. Yeah. Well, that's great because the cut down the number of people
are there.
Yeah. The less people go to the hospital, the more people get out to play.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I said it way back at the start of it when they started announcing, oh, this new variants came out, and then this variant came out, and then the Delta came out, and then the Omicron came out. Every time a variant, you know, scientists have always said every time a variant comes out and develops, it gets weaker, but becomes more transmissible. You know, that's with every sort of kind of virus disease thing. It's like this. It gets weaker, but more transmissible, spread quicker. And that's what I think we're now finally getting to is there's weaker strains every time now. It's getting weaker. It's taking over for this one. It's taking over for that one. It's spreading like wildfire, but it's getting weaker. And that's, like you say, that's when we'll start to get out to play. But
I was listening to that Off the Ball last Saturday, and the guy Jason Leach was on it. And I ken that Jason Leach isn't everybody's cup of tea. And I was listening to him, and he said there was some guy in the WHO who had says that pandemics last for 5 years, right? So they'll start as absolute manic up here, with thousands and thousands of people dead, and when it will gradually come down and down and down, and at the end of the 5 year, it'll be eradicated. It'll disappear, but we're stuck in the middle of it just now.
Yeah, and I think the thing is with this, right, and this is the thing a lot of people forget about. COVID is a mutated form of coronavirus, and coronavirus has always been a thing.
Yep.
And it'll always will be a thing even after this. It's eliminating the strain that we don't know about. That's all it is. We need to learn about it and then we deal with it. But listen, let's move on for that COVID talk. Let's look at it more positive.
It's a shame. It's a shame, eh? We need our hockey. We love our hockey. We miss our team. We miss our mates. You've also got to think we're okay. Eh?
What mates?
Me, I've got loads of mates.
Aye, okay.
You got to remember, there's a bunch of players that can't see their family now.
I know. Yeah.
They'll be doing what we're doing. They'll be doing it our whatever this is called, StreamYard and Zoom and whatever we call it. These guys are stuck here, eh? And they can't play the game that they've been brought over to do. They've come here to work and they can't get working.
Yeah.
So, my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to the club, eh?
But speaking of players, there's only kind of one thing that we really can do at this point. See, we are at the midway point of the season now. We're halfway through, give or take.
So 100 games.
Yeah. So review of the season so far. I think it's with no games being played and kind of nothing really to look forward to just now. I don't actually know when our next game is now. I've lost track on.
I've lost
games
track.
Are being played and what games aren't.
Yeah.
So
I could not tell you when our next game is.
So let's have a look at the season so far. So obviously we'll talk Challenge Cup first.
That'll be the trophy we're winning.
That is the trophy we're going to be winning.
Unless you know what, Junior? No, our luck. This will be the season that we're in with a shout of winning it, and they'll cancel it.
And they'll cancel
to free up dates for league games.
Well, they'll blame you because you said it last week. Just cancel the Challenge Cup. So, Belfast finished top of our qualifying Group A, and also we finished in second place ahead of the Fife Flyers by 2 points. It's quite funny that we only had 3 wins. It felt a lot more.
It certainly did feel a lot more.
From that, 2 wins against, one win against Belfast, one win against Fife, and 1 overtime win, a penalty shot win against Fife.
Yeah.
And then kind of 4 losses, one of them being in a shootout to Belfast as well. Again, we spoke about it at the start of the season, saying that Challenge Cup was a waste of time with the current format of it.
Yes.
But I thought Challenge Cup, we always treat it as a kind of warm-up, pre-season tournament sort of thing for us. But then we've went on and we've won that first leg, and we've still potentially could qualify for the semi-finals, and depending on how the second leg goes, and that hopefully is played behind closed doors in Cardiff. So
there's a good chance it might be. There's a good chance. There's a good chance it might be. Methion's on the Challenge Cup. I don't like it, but now it's probably we're in with a shout.
It's a great tournament. It's fantastic tournament.
Yeah, I think we should cancel the league season now and play Challenge Cup games. But the Challenge Cup's been good for us. We've gave ourselves a good shout. Anything happens, eh?
Yeah.
Anything happens. If we could get past Cardiff, we could cause a shock here, eh?
Yeah. Because, again, I think we spoke about it the other week, we take their seeding if we win. So we would get the lower seeding.
So what are they seeded? Are they seeded 1?
God knows, one or
They
two,
must be close. Listen, they're going to be in the top four, but to me, I think Cardiff must be one or two.
So Cardiff finished. There might be three actually. Cardiff finished on 12 points. So is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is. They finished. They would finish third because they finished on 12 points. Sheffield had 14, Belfast had 14, and then Cardiff had 12. So they're third.
So if we went through, we'd be the third seed.
Yeah, we were seeded sixth originally, so we'd be seeded third. If that's still the way it goes, that's the way they used to do it anyway. So, but looking at stats for the Challenge Cup, Charlie Combs was top point scorer with 3 goals and 6 assists, but top goal scorer was the other half of Jack Russell, Philippe Songe, with 5 goals. Dylan Lawrence with 4 goals.
That's a wee surprise to me,
What one?
Dylan getting Songe being 5 goals, Dylan being at 4 goals.
Yeah.
Like, for me, he's one of those guys, he's unseen.
Yeah.
And then after so many games, you look at his stats and you go, oh, how did that happen?
Yeah. I've always really liked him. I said that when we signed him, that I was really looking forward to him playing. He'll be a really steady, maybe second liner.
Yeah.
Chipping in here and there with some assists and some goals. And that's what he does.
Yeah.
His shot release is so quick. And if he gets that on target, goalies got next to no chance.
Unless that shot from the slot, is it?
Yeah, I think he's nailed it. It's where he's learnt his trade, I think, is it? Stand in that high slot and wait on the puck coming to him.
Yep.
So yeah, but Challenge Cup, I think we've been pleasantly surprised with. 1, we didn't have more than 3 wins in the group stage, and 2, I think we've been pleasantly surprised on how we performed and managed to get an advantage in that first leg to go to the second leg for the semi-finals.
You know what? Even in the games against Belfast, even the games that were lost, we actually played quite well.
Yeah.
I don't think there's some league games where we've been poor.
Yeah.
But I think the Challenge Cup overall, I think we've played really well.
Yeah.
And that was shown against Cardiff when we beat them 4-2.
Yeah. And I think coming away from that was we started off relatively decent. We felt performances were good. We were steady. If we could give teams games, we go into the league season. We play Nottingham, the very first one, which was in the middle of the Challenge Cup games.
Yeah.
And we should have beat them. We lost 2-1, and we should have beat them. And then we went on a really bad run where we weren't picking up anything. But looking at the table now, it's looking a little bit healthier. Okay, we're still only in 8th place, but we are only 5 points off of Manchester in 5th and 6 points off of Guildford in 4th. So it's not. That's 3 games. You win 3 games, they lose 3 games, you're up there again. So
if you even look at Belfast's only at 20 points.
Yeah.
Cardiff's only at 23, and I know it's a lot, but if all it needs is for us to win a few games and for those teams to lose a few games.
Yeah. So you look at Cardiff, right? We're 2 games behind Cardiff and 10 points behind. You win those 2 games in hand, you're only 6 points behind the second place team there, and the previous year's champions. But Fife, at the bottom, only 3 points behind us. But I think they went on that little run, and now they're hitting that kind of bad run of form again. But it's good to see us, that stat of goals for and goals against. The goals for was really, really shy at one point. But we've started to pick that up again, and we're starting to find our feet offensively.
I think that coincides with getting a full roster. When guys start coming back, we've touched on it before, and probably on here as well, that the Challenge Cup, we started really well, I think, because we had a full team.
Yeah.
And then it was only, we went on the sort of the bad run when players were beginning to drop off and get injured, and then Omar's left with He's got to change the lines. He's got to change his D. He's got to change his forwards.
Yeah.
There was one game he had Latin playing as a D man.
Yeah.
All those changes upset the team.
And the thing with it is as well is it wasn't at first. It was just So I think the first one was a suspension for Kyle. I think it was a 1-game ban, and we really missed him, and we were flat. He then comes back, and then we get maybe 1 or 2 guys who go out injured, and then it's the 3, 4, 5, 6 guys out injured and the suspensions, and you're like, shit, where do we go from here? But even then, at that point, I think that was okay. We're only at December, but it was like a season turning point for us where everyone had to dig deep with the amount of bodies that we were short, and it's like everyone came together that wee bit more, and it's now shown now that everyone's back. And it's like, you know what? We went through the shit. We got through the shit. Although we didn't win games, we were still competing. We were still playing relatively decent hockey. We come back, and then we go on this little run of wins, and then you beat. You beat Cardiff at home. Beat Cardiff at home in the cup. You then go to Cardiff and beat them away in the league. You win in Belfast the weekend before that. You beat Nottingham. You nearly pick up points in Sheffield, and you're like, okay, this is where we should have. This is where we thought we were going to be at the start of the season.
And then you get the guys chipping in who maybe weren't chipping in before.
Like so, my boy Tom's Rutkus.
Yeah, you had Rutkus chipping in with, what was it, 2-3 points over the weekend. You got Seb suddenly hit form and hit the back of the net.
In the league up,
and even and Latin chipping in with a goal and assist here or there. So these guys who were certainly 2 of them were heavily criticised by a certain section of the fans, suddenly turned it around, and it just coincided with guys coming back, Omar getting the lines absolutely spot on, and all of a sudden you've got 3 lines chipping in.
It's funny because we were crying out for, and apologies to the coach on this one because he's shut us up eventually, but we were crying out for him to get Sills back with Combs and Sonch. And then we now find the line of Combs, Dorowicz, and Desjardins. And what a line that is, by the way. And we're crying out for, no, we need to get this one,
Yeah.
He's nailed that top line. And I say top line. I use it very loosely, that term top line, because you've got your next line of...
You've got your next line, so what?
It's we've finally found it. Looking at stats there, Charlie Combs, top goal scorer with 7, followed by Bengtsson on 6, Sills and Sonch on 5. Desjardins surprisingly only on 4.
I think that's where we do have to improve, though, is scoring goals. We have been light in the goal scoring department, and only recently we've started sort of putting up 4s and 3 4s and 5s, whatever. But we did struggle with goals.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Charlie's your top goal scorer. He's only scored 7 goals. How many games has he played?
He has played 17.
There you go.
However, he's averaging a point a game, though.
A point a game, assist-wise. But that's what I'm saying. And it could just be that the goals are spread out right across the team.
Yeah.
And and if that happens, then fine. But if you do look at the goals for and goals against, I think you said we're sitting at 42 goals or something that we've scored.
Like that.
Yeah. And how many games have we played? 18 games or something. So it's just over 2 goals a game.
So I'm looking at I'm looking at the stats just now, right? So we've got 12 different goal scorers out of a roster of 17.
Yeah.
And a few of them, there's 3 of them with a goal each, and 1 with 2. Then the rest are all. Well, that's including Cody Drover as well. So, but yeah, top assists is Gabe. No, only 4 goals, and it's surprising. I thought he'd scored more than 4. just for how much you hear his name on the
Yeah.
announcing all the time. But yeah, 12 assists in 17 games for him, 10 for Charlie. So total points, 17 for Combs, the top point scorer. Gabe was 16, and then obviously Bengtson with his little run of form just now up at 12.
Yeah. So
Silverstone
the
down
top
10.
two are averaging just about a point a game.
Yeah, Combs is.
But,
Gabe's just under it.
Yeah. So, but if you look at, as I say, if you look at the goals that we've scored in the number of games, I think we're at 2 point something.
Yeah.
I
think one thing we need to look at.
But that then means that the D and Mo have got to be standing on their heads every game. Because if we're only scoring an average of just over 2 goals, you're going to struggle to win a lot of games. And that's what I'm saying. We've got to really start. And the thought, listen, this break's come at the wrong time for us.
Oh, definitely.
Because we were one of the top form teams in the league when this break came for us.
We weren't one of. We were the top form team in the league.
It's hitting the club in the pocket, and then we've got to go and start again. And will we start the way we were playing, or are we going to need to start going through it and build up? So difficult.
But yeah, I think we have started playing the way we thought we were going to play, and it's kind of starting to pay off for us. We're getting the points on the board. We're starting to get wins. We're picking up points here and there. Looking at stats, one stat I have to point out is our penalty minutes. Top penalty minute taker is Kyle Haas with 123 minutes in 14 games in the league.
So that's less than 10.
Listen, it's there's been a few. Again, we've complained about a few of the calls for him of game misconducts, and also they add up. The 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I know. I think he's been kicked out of 3 games. I think 2 of them we disagreed with. So even say 40, 60 minutes coming off that 123 takes him right down. It just adds near enough a couple of penalties a game. But yeah, 123. I think that's got to be going for a new record for the league.
He's going for the Stars record. I wonder what the Stars record was.
So the Stars record, I can tell you what the Stars record is in 2 seconds.
I'm going to go.
I'm pretty sure it's Jeff Hutchins.
Is it? I went Scott. For some reason, I went Scott Young.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Hutchie. I think Jeff Hutchins had one season where it was just ridiculous. We'll get that for it. We'll get that up. We'll figure it out in a second. But yeah, so, I think
for the review then, right?
It is.
Is it?
Oh well, in saying that, it's all-time penalty minutes for all the games they played.
All right.
But it is Jeff Hutchins of 507 penalty minutes in 194 games.
Kyle's on track now. He's on track for that. Yeah.
But yeah,
so,
it's
thinking for the review so far then, right? Who's been your top D man?
Okay.
Who's been your top forward? And who's been the guy that sort of surprised you? No, like none of this most improved fish. But who's the guy you've suddenly went, oh wow?
Yeah. So my top D man, and I was hoping it was going to be the guy that I was so excited for signing. I was hoping it was going to be Poirier. I do like Michael Poirier a lot. I think he's a good D man.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
But for me, I think our best D man has been Kyle Haas.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That's who I've got.
And I think the reason that I'm going with Kyle is because when we signed him, I was expecting him just to come here and be a tough guy and maybe be the third line D partner for whoever.
Yeah.
But when he's on that ice, he gives us a massive presence. Even on the bench, he gives us a massive presence. And he can play. That was what kind of was more about, he actually can play some decent hockey. He's not just a tough guy and a fighter. He can. You talk about your Chris Franks and your even Nickerson and stuff like that. They could play.
Yeah.
And they can fight.
Yeah.
But Kyle Haas is above them in terms of actually being able to play. Like he's a very solid D man. No shit. He can pass the puck. He can move that puck well.
I would agree with that. I think
He also jumps up in the rush now and again, and it's
yeah.
I always will him to score every time he jumps up in the rush just to see the gun celebration.
Yeah. I think for me, I agree with you. I think my D man, I've got it right down is Kyle as well. I think he's gave us someone that we've lacked.
Yeah.
And just okay, he's physical presence, but clearing people away for the goalie.
Yeah.
Between him and Marcus, like we've not had this for a long, long time. Where if somebody's in front of the goalie, they throw them out the way, and they don't care how they move them. They move them. But I think for me, where Kyle has got a wee edged it over Marcus for me is just the way he plays. As you say, he could jump up. He's got that presence. I don't think Marcus has got that presence. Although Marcus will be able to handle himself.
He just laughs. He just laughs at them.
Yeah. And I think he's at that age now where I can't be asked with this.
Yeah.
I cannot be asked with this. I've been there and I've done it. I'm just coming here. I want to play my game and that's it. Whereas Kyle will oblige with anybody. But I think that's what gives Kyle the edge, that he has got that presence on the ice. Defensively, he surprised me. Yeah. I didn't think we were going to get a D-man like Kyle. I knew we were going to get a tough guy. I knew we were going to get somebody to stick up for the team. I didn't think he was going to be the D-man that we've got, who could skate well. He could, if he wants to play the game the right way, he could play the game the right way.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think we've agreed on that. Kyle's were D-man.
It's funny you said that, because Debbie Ward actually shared a post on Facebook yesterday of the definition of a defenseman, and it's a noun: a hockey player willing to punch any player of the opposing team in the face in order to protect their goalie and thrives on it. That's Kyle Haas. That is the definition of Kyle Haas as a D-man. I saw it and I laughed because I thought, you know what, that is, and we've missed it for years.
And the thing about it with Kyle and Marcus, and the rest of them, let's be honest, Chris does it, Moorsy's done it as well. They just get people away. Mo will absolutely love that. Yeah, because definitely. Mo is going to know that he's not going to get clattered. Yeah. Look at, go back a few years. How many times did people crash in on Rio and nothing was done?
We had guys like Brad Plumpton and Craig Sescon, right? Steady players, tough guys, dropped them when they needed to, but they never cleared the shit in front of the goalie. Sean Boutin, the very last year before COVID, that was the worst one I saw, where the guy actually went right through the goalie and he stood and just looked at him the whole time.
Yeah.
And I've spoken to numerous people about it before, and they said, like, people still said that they could still see him doing it and just standing there looking at him. I'm like,
wouldn't happen now.
Yeah, no, God no. Somebody would have got leather for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Kyle Haas, currently D-man of the year for us.
Right. Forward.
So I don't know if we went the same, because I think you might have.
Well,
but I have gone with Spencer Dorwich.
Nah.
Okay.
I went with Charlie.
So Spencer Dorwich for me. Spenny is fantastic. See the work rate from him, the passion he puts in every game. I think he's the only one that plays on the edge from 0 right through to 60. He's the only one. No matter how banged up he is, he'll still go out and do it. I've just got an absolute love for him as a player. In the dirty areas all the time, and he just gets on with it. Never complains. You never see him arguing with the ref. He just gets on with it and gets on next shift. Absolutely.
So for me, it's Charlie Combs, but you'll not be surprised when you see who my surprise is going to be. But so for Charlie, when he came in, and I thought we were going to get a wee bit of a buzz bomb. of the same sort of ilk as Beauregard. But I think what we get from Charlie is the unpredictability, because some of the goals that he's scored and he's came out with are just unbelievable. I think he's something surprised himself, but he gets in amongst it. I think he's a bit like Kyle. He's the guy that, like, to me, drives the forwards.
Yeah.
If Charlie plays well up front, then the team plays well up front.
Yeah.
He seems to take everybody with him.
He's a massive character.
He's a great character. And what I do like about him is some of the celebrations. And, when he scores, he loves it. The jersey's up, and at the end of the games, he's banging the sticks. He's singing along with the fans. He enjoys it. And for me, on the ice, though, I think he's proved that he's sitting at a point a game. So, yeah. And I don't think other teams like playing against him, because I don't think they know how to defend the guy.
Yeah, it's the woos as he skates past the opposing bench when he scores.
Yeah,
that's what gets me. Because if that's one of the away players, like doing that, you go fucking mental. But yeah, no,
it's shite housery of the top level, like
God, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, my surprised signing of the year is Charlie Combs. So I thought I knew Charlie was going to come in as one of the top forwards. I just didn't expect him to be as good as he is. He is better than Beauregard by a mile. Beauregard's a great player, but Charlie Combs is better than him by a mile. Charlie Combs could be one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
That's how good he is. And I didn't think, and I thought he was going to, and I knew he was going to be a good player for us, us being the smaller budget team.
Yeah.
That's where I thought he was going to be good. I didn't expect him to be your Belfast, Sheffield, Nottingham, Cardiff good.
We've got.
He's too good for this league.
We've signed what we thought was going to be a good player.
Yeah.
And he's turned out to be a great player.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. My surprise then is the opposite then. My surprise is Dorowitz. I knew, sort of speaking on social media, we some Americans, we were going to get the grip for Spencer and stuff.
Yeah.
I just didn't think we were going to get what we got.
Yeah.
I think right at this point in time, Dorowitz is on fire. Absolutely on fire. Yeah. Offensively and defensively. He'll get in amongst it. He'll chip in with goals. He'll chip in with assists. He's not frightened.
Yeah.
He's probably one, he dropped the gloves in Fife. He probably doesn't want to drop the gloves, but he will not back down.
No.
And he gets in amongst it. No, suddenly we've got a player who will stand in front of the net and bang and bang and bang until that puck goes in. Like you, I love Dorowitz. I think Dorowitz is a great player. He goes under the radar. And the only way you'll notice Dorowitz is if you're a Stars fan. There'll be fans and from other teams going, who? Yeah. Because they'll not notice what we notice on a weekly basis.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But yeah.
So, interesting. We've got the same three players. It's just the forward and the surprise is just the opposite way around.
We obviously like the same type of players then.
Yeah. Yeah, people that annoy people.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking of annoying, it leads us in nicely to senior versus junior, and see how annoyed Lars will get this week.
Honestly,
it was a surprise 5 for 5 last week for me.
Well, you've noticed I've not gave you the year early this time.
3 for 5 for you last week, is that right?
Yeah, 35. Yeah, but so you want me to talk the numbers first this week? So you're leading.
Wow!
You're leading 14-10. So
we're getting a volunteering exercise here, going first for once.
It's up to you.
Okay.
Go for it.
Right,
Right.
I'll give you them. So
Right. Okay.
you've got 25, 29,
Right.
42,
Okay.
16,
Okay.
and 1997.
Okay. And the
I've got to
players
tell
are.
you, I've got to tell you, your year's 1819. Okay. Your
That's a
players.
long time. That's a long time ago. We have a team in 1890.
Dick. You have
Right.
Anthony Beauregard,
Maybe.
Colton Croker, baby,
Colin Croker.
Kevin Dufour,
Okay.
Riley O'Connor,
Jesus.
and Jagger Dirk.
Oh my God. This is outrageous.
It was only 2 years ago. It was the last season we played. Surely you should get 5 or 5.
Nah, nothing. For 2 years of sitting about there, nothing. Right, so 1997, you were born in 91.
Yeah.
30. So they're 6 years younger than you. 24. Right. Right, okay, well, I'm just going to go for it, eh?
Here we go.
Ah, fuck. You've not even put shirt numbers in. I don't think. Or have you? Right.
Have I?
Or have you? Right.
Oh, have I?
Here we go. Right, you ready?
Yes.
Right. So I'm going to go Riley O'Connor, 16.
Okay.
I'm going to go Anthony Beauregard, 42.
Okay.
Colton Croker, 1997.
Okay.
29 for Dufour. And I think that leaves us 25 with Jagger Dirk.
It does leave you 25 Jagger Dirk. So I can tell you, you got 2 right.
Fuck's sake, that was a shite.
So Kevin Dufour was 25 goals. He was the top goal scorer.
Oh, I went for 29 goals.
Anthony Beauregard was 29 assists. He was the top assist that season.
Right, okay.
Jagger Dirk was 42 with 42 penalty minutes, and that was the highest penalty minutes of that season.
Right, okay.
And then you were right with Riley O'Connor, number 16 shirt number, and Colton Croker born in 1997.
24. Yeah. All right, okay. 2 points. So you're going to get yours, and I'm still 2 points behind.
That's if I get any right, though.
Ah, God. Right. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So you have number 17.
Okay.
Number 18.
Okay.
Number 27.
Okay.
31.
Yep.
And 78.
Okay.
And your players are AJ McLean.
Okay.
Tristan Harper.
Okay.
Giannis Ozolins.
Okay.
Doug Krantz.
Okay.
And Mike Worrell.
Mike Worrell. Fuck, there's a fucking name and a half there, eh? Mike
There you
Worrell.
go. There you
right.
go.
Okay.
Hey, why the long face?
Yeah, why the long face? God, who was it that shouted that again?
Was it? I thought it was somebody like a Brendan Connolly, somebody like that.
No, I remember who it was. It was David Ling.
That's it. I knew it was somebody. I thought, put it this way, I think we were right. We knew it was a wee shite bag. Yeah.
Aye. He was a fucking shite. I fucking hated him.
Yeah, but he was a player though.
Him.
Yeah, he was an absolute player. But that had to be one of the funniest things ever.
Yeah.
We're all sitting on the bench and
why
he's telling us,
face?
hey, Mike, why the long face?
Oh, brilliant. Right, okay, so... Oh, why is
Okay.
my fucking work phone's ringing?
Well, it's not me.
Piss off.
Unprofessional. The hell.
On holiday. On
Yeah.
holiday. Right, okay, so we're going to go with...
Right. On. Can't he?
Giannis Ozolin's shirt
Right.
number... no. Doug Krantz, shirt number 17.
Okay.
Fucking hell, these are hard ones this week, lad.
Got to be. I've got to try and catch up.
We're going to go 18. Now, did Giannis Ozolin's play that whole season? Let's go. Fuck it. I'm only going to come out with one here, I think. 18 for AJ.
Okay.
What year was this? What year is this?
12-13.
So that's the season before we won the conference. Okay, I'm still going to go with Mike Worrell at 78. No.
Okay.
No. Mike Worrell's going to go at 31.
Okay.
Fuck it. Tristan was not on the ice for this long, but 78. Tristan. And fuck knows what that leaves Ozolin set at 27. Come out with 0 here. So, AJ 18. Harper at 78. Ozolin at
27.
Nah, I'm going to change them.
Oh, for crying out loud. Come on.
AJ's at 27. Ozolin says
Right.
18.
Well, fuck you. You've got 5.
Fuck off.
You have your wee dick.
Well, I could leave it at 4 then.
17 you got Doug Krantz.
That's the only one I knew was his shirt number.
Yeah. 78 was Tristan.
What
was his penalties.
Fucking
Penalty minutes.
I couldn't think he was on the ice for that long. He
Yeah.
gets 78.
Mike Worrell was 31. It was the number of goals he scored.
Really?
Yeah. Ozolins was 18. That was his jersey. And AJ scored 27 points. So your last minute change gave you 5.
Fucking hell.
Chancer.
Honestly, that was the toughest week you gave us to. They were other than Doug Krantz, and the only reason I know it was Doug Krantz is because it was Graham Harvey's favourite player, and Graham Harvey followed him into the toilets, and I think it was underground one night for a photo.
Excuse me. Yeah.
And that's the one I knew. The rest were all guesses. Fucking hell.
You've opened up a lead, eh? You've opened up a week and a half worth of lead.
To be fair,
because the score is now senior 12, junior 19.
That was just all fucking guesses there. I had no clue.
Absolutely. I'm sitting here devastated.
You're going to use an SNL. You're going to use an SNL year next time, are you?
I'll tell you. And I keep going on about this because I know that the guy listens in, Paul McNichol listens in, right? The Dode Fox podcast. I'm going to get in touch with Paul because I need to get some shitehousery tricks for this quiz. Next week's numbers might be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that.
Oh.
Can't believe that your last minute, I'm sitting thinking he's only got 3. That's no bad. No, I'm going to change them.
You know what it was? The thing with Ozolins was I went with 18 for him because I felt he came in halfway through the season.
Yeah, he did, but he wore 18 for that.
And that's what I was thinking. I thought, surely he's not as high as 27 or whatever it was because he never played that many games. So he wouldn't have got that because he wasn't that great a player. He was a cheap and cheerful player.
Wow. I've got it written in my notes already. SNL. That's how I've wrote. SNL.
He's a wee dick.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, you're getting some shite numbers next time. I'll tell you.
Yeah. Well, on that note, it's this episode of A View from Section C is finishing on a very happy note for one of us. It's a very early Christmas present for me and continuing a winning streak again.
It's the only present you're getting.
Well, I think I've already got your friends in the house, so
Yeah,
lucky.
yeah.
But no, from all of us, I say all of us, there's only two of us,
Yeah.
a view from Section C.
Yeah.
I want to firstly thank everyone that's been listening in.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We
Appreciate it.
are, I say, I keep an eye out on the analytics, as it's called, on the podcast stuff, and we're getting. Last week we were more. Sorry, 2 weeks ago we were a lot more with the very first YouTube episode. But we are getting between 200 and 250 listeners every week, which
Good.
is unreal. We were happy with maybe 50.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, as I say,
And
we've got
I think
what?
the feedback we get as well has been really positive.
Yeah,
And we've always asked for constructive feedback. If you think we're talking shite, then tell us we're talking shite.
yeah,
If you want things added in, ask us, and if we think it's relevant, we'll add it in.
yeah,
But yeah, we can't thank everybody enough for watching now and also
yeah.
listening in.
So our plans are for next year is to go a little bit further and speak to some new people on it. So it's not just our voices you're listening to.
Yeah.
We are looking to get a couple of former players on. We've already got one of them agreed to go into the new year once he has finished his kind of festivities with the family and some trips
Yeah.
and that. So he will be coming on.
That'd be good.
And yes, are going to absolutely love it because
Yeah.
who it is. But yeah, and we'll look to even maybe get a couple of fans on, a couple of close friends from the hockey on, and get their take on games and stuff as well, and branch out a little bit. So watch this space. We will get the post up for merchandise. We have now got everything sorted with costs and logos and stuff like that and material. So we've got all that sorted. We'll get that out on the socials as well. But again, just a big thanks to everyone for listening. Hope you have a Merry Christmas when tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah,
When
because
you're
this is
listening,
Christmas Eve.
you'll
This is what
probably
we
be
are
listening.
doing. This is what we are doing for the people. We're recording this on Christmas Eve for the people.
Yeah, so enjoy your day tomorrow, and if you're listening to this tomorrow, maybe when travelling down to see people, which will be me and Shannon, because Shannon won't listen to it driving to Fife, then have a good day today. Just on that note, me going to Fife on Christmas Day, do I still get to sing "Feed the Fifers" at the dinner table to our mum, Scott, and her wee brother?
Yeah, and I hope you're going to be wearing all your Stars regalia when you get there.
You know what? I might take in I might wear a Stars top when I go in just to see Spencer's face. But no, a Merry Christmas to all. Have a Happy New Year when it comes, and hopefully we see you at the rink a lot sooner than what we're currently thinking.
Yeah, I'm the same. Merry Christmas, guys. Happy New Year. Thanks again for listening, and all the best.
Have a good one.